So the French Grand Prix was a disaster for Ferrari and Charles Leclerc. It was set to be a great race, with Leclerc and Max Verstappen going at it with each other early on in the early stages of the race, and even though that battle tailed off, it was set to resume later on with both teams splitting their strategies. But it never happened, unfortunately, because Leclerc ended up spinning his car into the wall, forcing him out of the race. And by doing this, that's really messed up his championship, as he's now so far behind Verstappen. But before we take a look at what caused the crash, if you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more Formula 1 content. And you can follow me on Twitter at James_Formula1, and there'll be a link in the description. So as I said earlier, the race was on between Verstappen and Leclerc, with both drivers pushing each other extremely hard in the early stages of the race. But whilst Red Bull's top-end speed was superior, Leclerc was able to keep Max behind due to the F175 having really strong cornering speed, meaning he was able to drag out a big enough gap so he wouldn't be caught with DRS. Now Red Bull decided to bring in Verstappen on lap 16. That made it look like Red Bull was opting for the 2-stop, and because Ferrari never responded, Leclerc was set for a 1-stop. So the race was shaping up nicely, with it looking like it'd be another showdown between Verstappen and Leclerc. But Leclerc did look in the stronger position. He fended off well several early attacks from Max despite the pressure he was under, and after Max pitted he was still showing decent pace on old medium tyres. But it all went wrong for Leclerc a couple of laps after Max pitted. Basically he got slightly offline into the long, fast parabola of their Buset, the fast turn 11 corner which Ferrari had been supreme at all weekend. They were carrying a good 15 km an hour more than anyone else through there, such was their downforce, so it's where the team found a lot of time on the circuit. But there was Leclerc's downfall. Because he ran a bit offline and wide through the corner on a lap he crashed, it was always going to make him vulnerable to a snap of oversteer, given that's the dirty part of the track. And combine that with the speed he was able to take through the corner, as soon as the left rear tyre hit the white line it was always going to go away from him, and as a result found himself in the wall. Now following the crash we heard Leclerc shout on his radio that he couldn't go on throttle, which brought up suspicions that it was a pedal issue that caused the crash. At the last race in Austria he also had this type of issue, with his accelerator pedal starting to stick in the latter part of the race. But Ferrari have shut talk of this down, with team boss Mattia Binotto saying it was simply a driver mistake that caused the crash, and that Leclerc did not feel enough torque from the engine after the incident. He said, "What happened is a genuine mistake of Charles, which are things that may happen, and I think they don't take off how good he is as a driver, but it was a genuine mistake." What you heard on the radio was about when he was in reverse gear trying to get out of the barriers. There is a strategy, without going into all the details, that meant he was on the throttle, but didn't feel sufficient torque from the engine. It was nothing wrong, simply the strategy there. Binotto also revealed what he told Leclerc privately after the incident, saying, "I think what I said to Charles was that we make our life a bit more difficult, but I think it will get even better. We will enjoy more in the future." Now as we know, Leclerc has admitted full responsibility for this, and you have to have respect for him to do that. But it's not the first time he's made a mistake this season. In Imola he spun chasing down Sergio Perez for P2, which put him into the barriers and damaged his front wing. I know this season he's lost a lot of points due to poor strategy calls and reliability, but he had a golden opportunity in France to make it 2 wins in a row, and to crash out from the lead is just not a mistake you can make, especially against Verstappen. He's very consistent, and nowadays you very rarely see him make an unforced error. As a result, Verstappen is 63 points ahead of Leclerc, and with Ferrari making more mistakes as a team as the pressure builds, it may show that this title's getting away from them. I did a poll on this recently, and a lot of you feel Ferrari are now out of the title race, and some of you even think Mercedes can now catch Ferrari. But I personally do believe they can bounce back. After all, without driver and team mistakes, Ferrari would likely be ahead of Red Bull at this stage. So I think the team do need to get a 1-2 at the next race in Hungary to give them confidence, and then really regroup over the summer break, and with a clean run of races following the break, perhaps they could find themselves back in the mix. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care, bye.